Hello, welcome to Tasty Classics. I've been thinking for a little while that I should get a modern classic, a car maybe that's appreciating, you know? But until then, I've got myself an Audi TT 1.8 turbo 180 horsepower Quattro from 2003. I bought this from a subscriber of the channel, lovely chap. He'd parked the car up for 4 years. As you can see, got a bit green in all the right places. He simply had no more use for the car, didn't want to put it back on the road, so there it sat until I came along. Now, I gave him £250 for all of this car, which is, you know, not much money at all. It's on the register, not that register, but it's on the register, so it's, you know, value-wise, it's questionable. But I thought it would be fun and an enjoyable video, same as we did with that Rover, the 820, if we can get this thing running, driving, tidied up, back on the road, down for an MOT, and see what one of these things is like. And also, because these are turning into a little bit of a popular car for people to sort of get and do up, I thought we would record and track all of the costs in this handy, very easy to edit table. Is it there now? Yep, cool. So today, it's the hottest day of the year so far. There is not a cloud in the sky. It's gorgeous. I am concerned though that I might burst into flames at any moment. So today, all I'm really interested in doing is having a proper look around this thing. I want to sort of see what it's all about. I would like to put a battery on it. I would like to see what comes to life, put some fuel in it and see if it'll run. And if it does, maybe we can have a bit of a deeper look into it and see what I need to buy, what I'm going to need to do, if there's any faults that I can immediately spot. When I went to pick up the car, a couple of things that really stood out was the fact that there's this towing eye in the front, which is, again, a bit of a red flag, because it is a screw-in one, I think. Yeah, screw-in one, so it is a little bit of a red flag. Why is that there? Is this thing going to run at all? It's also going to need a serious clean. I mean, this is all properly baked on. You know, it's going to need a bit of work there, but that's fine. It's only cosmetic, isn't it, you know? Wheels and stuff look okay, the tyres look okay, but they do have a couple of slow punches, so I've had to put some air in it to move it this morning. Brakes are very rusty, but again, they might go again, who knows? See what they're like after an Italian tune-up. Round here, pretty much the same story. But I can't really get to it because there's a bloody fence in the way. Which is another reason why I'd like to put a battery on it and see where we get up to. Styling of these things, I think, is massively grown on me. Hugely. This is a single exhaust. If it was the 225 brake, it'd have 2 exhausts. This is the 180 horsepower single exhaust 4-wheel drive, which is, you know, it's plenty. It's going to be a fun little car to drive if it drives. I remember when these first came out. In fact, I sold these things when they first came out. You know, the first mark of TT went on for quite a few years with various little changes. And this one, when it came out, it was quite a sort of a new shape. People were like, you know, what the hell is that? Similar to when the Ford KA came out. You know, people were like, oh, it's a bit of an extreme design. And it was the same with this. And then there was all sorts of scaremongering in the press at the time. I remember there was stories of, if you went round a corner too fast, it would flip over. Loads of things like that, you know. Similar to, do you remember the story about the Mercedes A-Class? That if you were driving along at 70 mile an hour and you put both front windows down, the rear window would pop out. Loads of mad stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, over the years, I think these have, you know, started to look a bit nicer. And being an Audi, my first Audi on the channel as well, you know, fit out wise, they're just really nice. You know, everything's just sort of built very well. You know, Volkswagen and Audi really know how to put cars together. And it does show. If this was a 2003 Peugeot, more things, it'd be a bit more sort of less well held together, but it's not. Got a nice Bose sound system. I wonder if that works. First job of the day is going to be straight under the bonnet. Partly because I can't get in. I like to explore the cars first usually and have a good look around everything, but access difficult. Inspect for alligators. Oh, big dead spider right on the catch. Wow, 5-valve turbo. It's only got 5 valves, this car. Should have more than that, shouldn't it? How does it even run? But it all looks complete. I mean, there's maybe a couple of little screws missing. It's got a battery though. Strange little aftermarket Allen bolt holding the battery cover on. Okay, there's some sort of ECU type job. That probably won't work. And yeah, a battery that I can put my starter thing on. But before we do that, have we got any liquids? What's this thing like? Nice, no mayonnaise. Don't think these really suffered from mayonnaise-y type problems, but they, shut that for a second, but they did suffer with some flaws. There was a lot of fairly new engineering that went into these, and I remember when I worked for Audi for the brief period, but I worked for Volkswagen for a long time, 7 years, and when I did some brief stints in Audi, because there was an Audi place on site, the bills that would be sort of given to customers when their Audi TT came in for repairs would almost always be into 4 figures and quite high. Yeah, I think the 4-wheel drive system, I don't know what it's called. Is it called a Haldex or something? I don't know. I'll put the correct name for it up on the top. That had issues. Turbocharger, you know, issues, gearbox issues. The most sort of common issues with these, I remember, being electrical and all stuff under the dash. And I remember the steering wheel, there's like a ring sensor behind it that moves, and that has to do with ABS and everything. It's all very connected, and it was all a little bit much maybe. And it used to be like Blackpool illuminations on the dashboard all the time with these things. This is a 2003 though, it's a little bit later than some of the really early ones, so I don't know if anything was ironed out. But I guess we're going to find out when we put a battery up to it. Anyway, water. Oh yeah, nice looking coolant. That's good. See how everything just, you know, it all shuts nicely? That's the good thing about the Audis and Volkswagens. Anyway, let's get this out. Nice, smells like currywurst. Lovely, looks like currywurst as well, great. That's probably the negative, we'll find out, I'm sure, when we turn this on, and that's positive. That's making one of those lights that says it doesn't like it. Let's try and stick some power in. We're going to get an alarm or anything. Oof. That is not cool. It does not want us. It's say that is usually the case when there's like a short in between the two. Let's try and force its hand. I don't think there was a short, but there was just a massive current draw. I just heard loads of stuff coming to life then. So many electrics in these cars, honestly. I can hear the heater blowers working. Can you hear that? Oh, the ignition was on. Got a light. Nice gear stick. Sporty car, this. Okay. Oh, ow. God, that is almost impossible to touch. That is red hot. Okay, so mileage-wise, 115,000. It's not bad at all, is it, really? Ah, how do we turn this off? No, off. Ah, it's that one. Oh, cool. It's got a tape player. Right, 115,000 on the clock, which is really good. Engine management lights there, ABS lights there, EPC lights there, that's all good, so they're still attached. It's got heated seats today. Right then, another thing I've just noticed is this display here is all good. That's a bit of a common fault in the Mark 1 TTs as well. That display usually goes wrong. It is saying there is fuel in it. I mean, the last time fuel was put in was 4 years ago. Do we just try and turn them over? I mean, what have we got to do? It's just a car, isn't it? It's a modern one. It should be all right. Nothing else you can really check. It's out of gear. Okay. Right. Come on then, you old girl. See what you can do. She runs. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I mean, that's the does it run sort of portion of the video out the window, isn't it? Right, okay, so it does run. I wonder if it's going to move. She sounds sweet as a nut as well. Sounds so good. I'm going to leave that plugged in for a minute just because it was quite drained, so I don't want to take it off straight away. Give it a chance. Ah. So what have we got? We have got ABS light is on, but there's no engine management light. There's nothing else. ABS light's a bit of a pain though, but this should hopefully be modern enough for us to get an accurate diagnostic from. Gear stick might need a bit of lube. Oh, there's a Haynes manual. Oh wow, very cool. That's the plate. Very nice. Locking wheel nut. Come on. Beautiful. Air conditioning. Let's just see if that works for a laugh. How do you do it? Why isn't this one? So an on position? Oh yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. Be surprised if it does. Putting a lot of stress on it, asking it to have air conditioning straight away. Power steering works. God, we're absolutely flying here, aren't we? Before I try and move it, I'm just making sure I've got enough air in these tyres. Disconnected my little battery pack, and yeah, sweet as a nut, she's running. Really nice. Lovely thing. Can we get in here? How does it open? No, maybe it's a button inside. Still not particularly very cold. If it did have air conditioning, it might need a regas. I think the question on the nation's lips now, though, is will it run? And to find that out, I'm going to have to get inside. Oh, it's all sorts of everything. Quite high up. Can I go down? 9 Broomhilda. Okay. Let's just... I've got a clutch pedal. Okay, that's good. Reverse gear selected. Not easy to get in and out, this thing. Okay, we're going to go for reverse first. Oh wow, smooth as silk. That bite feels really nice on the clutch. Oh. Will it run and drive? Tick. Interesting. I think that battery might be completely toast because I shut the door just out of habit, and when the window went to raise, the whole thing cut off, and now there's no lights or anything. We'll keep this plugged in until we get a new battery for it then. I hope it's a battery as well. It could be an alternator issue. It might not be charging. Oh, whoops! I pressed the bloody wipers. Didn't mean to do... Ah, no! Turn them off! Stop! Ah! Oh my God, what have I done? Okay. No, don't shut the door. Leave the door open. She drove so wonderfully. The only thing is the discs and pads are making some serious noise. Serious noise. So I think we might have to add a set of those to the shopping list. Oh, look at this wing. Bit of damage there. These wings are bolt on though, so maybe we could find a silver one on the internet. Interesting. Is there a paint code? Oh, it's had a belt. 2021, it had a cam belt. Oh, come on. What a dream, look at that. That's fantastic news because, as you know on this channel, we don't do belts. If it goes, it goes. It's just, I like to live dangerously. So, type AN EU3 0089. One of those has got to be the paint code, hasn't it? Surely. Silver. But yeah, it's all right. It might come up with a wash. Is it missing that thing? Might be in the car though, because they only put the towing iron. Let's get the multimeter and we'll see if we're charging. Don't know if you can hear that exhaust, but she's so quiet. Sounds really nice as well. Sounds really good. Now I've got a spare battery we can use just to sort of test some stuff, but I want to see if we can test it with this power pack on. 14 volts, we are charging. Now this is an 075 battery that's in this car, which is not going to be the same as the one that we're putting in, but it doesn't really matter. Battery sizes. It says maintenance free there. We're doing maintenance though. It's lying. Battery sizes, they just don't really matter. You could put a cheap 063 on pretty much anything, you know, of this size, and it'll run. But I will put an 075 on it. They're not very expensive, probably 60, 70 quid, something like that. But we'll get one and we'll add it to the tally. Oh, I've got this little cherub out of an Austin, which the poles are on the wrong way round. But it's okay because it's so small. There is a battery clamp in there though, I can see, which is handy. Okay, so that's the negative side. Open this up a touch more. Just torquing those down to their correct settings. Let's try it again. Yeah, 14 volts, so we are charging. That's great news because I wouldn't really want to do an alternator on this. Although I can see it there, so it doesn't look like it'd be too bad. Famous last words. Right, okay, that's pretty cool. Should we have a look inside and see what works? The first thing I want to try is this button here because I need to get into the boot. How do you... Can you not do it when the engine's running or something? What about now? What about the key? Oh no, don't tell me the boot doesn't open. That's annoying, isn't it? Potentially why all of the... There we go. It's potentially why all this stuff is down in the boot. I'll have to have a look into that. That's going to be a job for the list then. Why isn't the boot open? How annoying. Anyway, I just wanted to push this back because... God, it's stuck. Oh, these nice seats. You'd have to be an amputee to fit in there though, wouldn't you? But yeah, just so I could get my backrest back a bit. Because I am big. This car is small. Okay, start her up again. Nice. Okay. Okay, are you comfortable? How do we turn this fan off then? So, we know the fan works, that's a great start. We haven't got any AC. I should be making a list of this, shouldn't I? Yeah, AC is very not cold. What else have we got then? So let's just turn that down, even though it was very pleasant, but I don't know if you can hear me or not properly. Oh, that works. Amazing. Can do my makeup on the way to work. It's fantastic. Power steering all works and things. I mean, you know, I guess we could move a couple of cars and run it around the yard as well and see if it, you know, what else works in terms of driving. We'll do that in a second. The most important thing I need to know about this car though is if the tunes work. Now because the battery's died, it says safe. So I need a code. Why is that there? Is that a worry? Maybe. What's that? Colossus energy drink. Is that a worry? What's this? Oh, why is there another one of those there? Why do we need two of those? Has this got a massive wiring fault that we don't know about yet? I can't see a book pack or anything though. That's frustrating. How are we going to get the code for that then? I'll have to add that to the list. Stereo code. Heated seats, do we get like a light that comes on or something? Don't know, I'm not going to wait to see if they come on though because I'm already at 75 degrees and if I get, you know, any more than that, I'm just going to melt in front of the camera. So that window's gone up but not all the way, there's still a gap there. Now it's up all the way, so that window works, that's really good. I was worried about that. Thought we'd have to get into window regulator territory. "24 degrees" it says outside, that's a lie, it's more like 34. Oh, your window works. I'm not putting them all the way because they're very covered in shite. What about this mirror? Oh, perfection. What about that mirror? Yep, that works. What about this one? Oh, amazing. What else is there to test when I've got no stereo? Why can't I get... Just holding the... I wonder if it's this panel that's burst. Listen out if I can hear anything. Because the fuel cap's not popping up either, I can see that. I just can't hear anything. Something just crawled on me, it might be time to leave. Yeah, nil point on these. Better not use all of our fuel then, because I don't know how to get in there. Just undo these Allen keys. Okay, see what this baby can do. Clutch feels amazing, feels very, very good. Engine feels super good as well. Some serious noise coming from over there though. But if that'll just clean up. 115,000 though is no miles for an Audi. Oh, no way! ABS light's gone off! Come on! Oh, maybe while that's off we strike while the iron's hot, you know, and get it down for its MOTs. something going on over there. Wow, it's rapid. Okay, it's fast. I would suggest that it is boosting as it should be. I'm just trying to clean the brakes up a little bit as well, yeah, it's all working. Come on. Whoa, brakes are working well. Oh dear. Oh dear. We've just had some illuminations. We have got the ABS light and that, which is the, well, it's the light of death. That could mean absolutely anything, but it's probably something to do with it. I wonder if it just needs a bit more of a run or something, because the ABS light did go off. I don't think I've heard the fan yet either, but we are tracking at a, you know, nice 90 degrees. I don't know. And there's something clicking in that corner there. Anyway, I mean, I'm not too fussed by it at all. Not phased. It's only going to cost us £4 to fix or something. It'll be fine. Brakes feel amazing though. Really do. When I turn a corner though, that is making a horrible noise. Interesting. Okay, we're in, and I've put some lights on, and look how dirty and sort of faded out these headlights are. They are going to take a bit of work to bring those back up, I would have thought. Does look like we have got a full ensemble of lights though. I'm going to try the flash in a minute and you'll have to tell me. Fog lights on, headlights are on, indicators are working. Tell me if you get a flash or not. Ah, look, I pressed the wrong thing, shit. Ah. This thing is ready for its MOT. I mean, that's awesome. And it's the first car in a while where we're not going to have to fuck about with bloody windscreen washers. Those wipers actually look like they're... I mean, do we even need a new set? Could we save ourselves some money there? I don't know. Don't need wipers anyway, it's summer. Flash. Is it working? I can't hear you. I just can't hear you. I can see both the number plate lights are working, so that's great news. What about the brakes? You can see the middle one's working. You'll have to tell us about the others, I'm not sure. And reverse, is that going? Have we got reverse? So far so good then, aside from those two lights on the dash. The sort of circle one with a triangle, which is like a stability program type thing. I don't know, it could mean loads of different things. It's the light of death. And then ABS as well, that's a problem. But we'll get it up in the air now and we'll have a look underneath, see what it's like. And then see what the brakes are cleaning up like as well. I've just tried the handbrake there. It kind of did work. Don't know. It might be an idea just to clean the hell out of this thing, make it look really presentable. Try and do any sort of easy MOT jobs, like make sure the battery's all nice and any other little bits. maybe put some new wipers on it because they're probably knackered, aren't they? And then send it down for an MOT and just see what we get back from them. I can also plug it in before we do that and see if we can clear any codes or anything before it goes in, or find out what's wrong with them. I've just tried to unlock the passenger door, get into the passenger door, and I've noticed that despite the battery being good on the car, nothing is working. Oh, okay, that's working now on the key, but that light's just started flashing, it didn't do before. That is a new flashing light. Come on, how'd you get into this boot? I'll give it a Google later, but car's locked, can't get in. That's interesting. I don't know if it's going to be the key, because that button on the inside wasn't working, was it? Let me just try and change the battery in this though. Turn my back for a second and now we've got an alarm or something. Why? This is going to be, you know, there's always a reason why a car was parked up, isn't it? Is it going to be something like this? Why are we doing the flash? Right, so I think it's just read the immobiliser in the key and it's still working, but it didn't like that, did it? That's working now, that wasn't before. Oh, it's just worked. No way. Come on. Open sesame. Oh, I heard it work. You did. Lie, it worked. Oh, you heard it. We were all there. Oh, yes. Right, we've got access to that. I don't think... Oh, yes! Come on! Oh, that's a bit of a headache relieved, isn't it? Right, I don't know what's up with that. Maybe the key just needs a new battery. I'm going to try and put that in. What have we got under here? Look at all these items. That's quite a nice toolkit with everything there, isn't it? Just looking for a radio code. Interesting. Oh, got some rubbing compound. Give the car a bit of a rub. We've got that and everything. It's all there. It's all there. That's great. The batteries I've got are really old, but they are sort of, I don't know, maybe they still work. This one, CR2032, slightly different, and it said the plus, it was in like that. And now when I've taken this off, I don't know if you can see in the light maybe, there's a plus sign there, which would usually indicate that the plus goes downwards. I would have thought, no? So maybe I could put 2 of these ones in and see if it works. I mean, I didn't do particularly well at school, but I do know that that is a 032 and these are 016, so 2 of these might make 1 of these, and it's like half the thickness. I don't know, I'm really sort of going out on a limb here. Okay, let's put this back together and see if it works. Yeah, that's not working. I'll try and buy the correct batteries when I'm out in town today, and see if that makes any difference. First impressions, you can see where it has been jacked up on the sills. I mean, it's not gone through anything, but it's a little bit unsightly, instead of using this bit. Yeah, wheels, they're there. The brakes seem to be cleaning up pretty nicely, you know, pretty evenly, and there's no sort of like crazy lip on them or anything, so I don't know, we might get away with not having to put brakes on, which would be a cost saving. All the pads and everything look really good. That pad does look like it's stuck out quite far. That's weird, isn't it? Okay, but yeah, corrosion wise, there isn't really anything to worry about with it being such a new car, which is fun for us, isn't it? This wing's a bit sad though. I mean, you've got a nice masking line there, so you could potentially just fill and paint that. We could do a little rattle can repair, you know, just this bit. I don't know, but it might be quicker to just swap this wing out if we can find one in the right colour. But I'll have a look tonight and I'll let you know. Underneath, no big sort of oil leaks or anything, which is pretty sweet, pretty swell. Everything looks, you know, as it, you know, should. Can't see any immediate issues with the sort of wheel sensor thing or whatever it is that's wrong with it. So we'll get the code reader out. You know, nothing's hanging off, not ripped anything off. Boost pipe. Where's the snail? Can we see it? Oh, there it is. That's not it. I was joking. This is cool. This is held on with a rope, so that's pretty good. That's possibly the noise that I could hear, so we'll have to do a slightly more permanent repair than that. Everything else at the back looks okay. I mean, you know, as it can. Just pop that back in there. Look, there you go. But, you know, with stuff like this, you've just got to see what the MOT man says, really, haven't you? Because it's, you know, what's fine for me might not be fine for them. Coil springs look okay there, I think. So I did hear this sort of catch, this bit here. It's obviously not supposed to be like that, so I might have to do something with it, but just checking the coil spring looks okay to me. But he'll have a better look, be able to tell us. All the tyres and everything look pretty decent. One's a bit low on the other side, but nothing that I'm particularly worried about. All look pretty decent. This one has got a slow puncture though, it does go down, but we'll find out how long, because the car's been sat outside for a while. And those of you that regularly watch the channel have been saying, I've seen the Audi in the background. It's like, fuck. I try so hard to keep these cars hidden, but I always miss them in the edits because I'm useless. Right then, what's next? Just out of interest more than anything, I like seeing what four-wheel drive systems do when they're up in the air and what traction control systems do when they're up in the air. Just as a bit of a fetish, I don't know why. It's just interesting though, isn't it? It's really cool. Pretty much all four wheels are spinning. It is trying to put some power into that one. But yeah. We're flying. But yeah, I'll do a little bit more research into the four-wheel drive system and I'll let you know what it's all about on one of these, because I did used to know it all, because we used to do a lot of stuff. My mate had a Mark 1 S3. That was a really cool car, really liked that, but it ended up needing thousands of pounds worth of work, huge jobs as well. I remember there was a diff that needed to be done on it. There was a steering rack that needed to be, just loads of big, very sort of painful, lots of nuts and bolts jobs on that car. Anyway, right, I'm going to head into town, get myself a new pressure washer, get a couple of other bits, and I'll see you in the morning. Hello, welcome to the next day. I've got a few more bits I want to do before we take this thing outside and give it the wash of its life. First off, I want to take that wheel off and reattach the lining on the inside, so when it goes for its MOT, it looks a bit better on the inside. And also, that bit of under tray that was hanging off, going to screw that back on. I think Bangers and Cash Restorations did one of these recently, and I've not copied them. I actually bought this before that their episode went out, So, like, and if you want me to send you the proof, I can. You know, I'll send like birth certificate. Do you need that? If you just like to bend over and pull your trousers down. You know, if anything with Bangers in Cash Restoration, they've copied me because I got mine first, you know. Granted, there's absolutely no way that they would know that I'd got one, or probably even know that I exist. However, just, you know, maybe. I think that tyre's started to go down already, which is far from ideal. Might need to get another tyre fit, and that won't be the quickest, cheapest way of doing that. Kind of want it to go for its MOT tomorrow. Okay. Right then, so this is all sorts of not held on properly anymore. Okay, so it's missing a screw there. That's not too bad. Let's do that one first. Oh yeah, much better. Little things like this as well. If you take a car for its MOT and you've got big, fairly important bits of plastic just hanging off in the wheel arch, you know, he's going to look at everything else in a bit more detail, isn't he? You know, because he's going to be thinking, bloody hell, what else could be up with it, you know? But anyway, that's all nice on there. See, it's cracked there. Okay, that's the... So that should go up and above. Quite a large, violent sort of spider's web there. That can stay behind though, it's okay. We'll get to that when we replace the wing. If we replace the wing, because I don't know if there isn't. I had a brief look last night. I didn't have the right paint code because the paint code's in the boot apparently on these. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's just going to have to sort of stay like that. That's okay. And last one. Is there anywhere for that to go? Yeah, so that there is supposed to sit on a little stud which has been snapped off. So I don't know how I'm going to sort that. Kind of looks like it needs to get away from the tyre though. And there's that one up there as well, next to that big hole. I've just spent 4 hours looking for ways to secure this on there, and there is absolutely no way of doing it without drilling holes into the body. Don't know if you can see, but there's supposed to be a little stud, see that there? That's where a little stud was that this sort of attached to, which has since fallen off. Just a shy idea, similar to that sort of thing there, just sort of something that was bolted, you know, made at the factory. And the only way I could get around it is by drilling a hole in this wheel arch, which is going to, you know, definitely be a point of rust in the future. So I'm not going to do that. Hopefully that's enough for it to not get in the way. But if it does, then we'll have to sort of re-look at it. But for now, it's all nice and sort of tidied up. So at least it's going to be good for the MOT man to be able to see the spring and stuff, you know. This is a bit weird under here. Just relieve it of its current supports. But yeah, maybe they had to get to this for some reason, because that wing nut's still there. Ah, it's fallen through. Ah, right, okay. So we'll need to put a big ass washer on that. But yeah, these are still there as well, these studs, which is great news. So I'm going to find a nut that fits these and then get some big washers and clamp all this back up nicely. Is this one starting to come as well? Good job I checked it. That one's knackered as well. So we'll do the same on that one. So there we are, all bolted up with some fresh bolts. Very faffy, didn't enjoy it. The bolts were they're just not the right size. That, whatever the hell that is there, that speed clip is supposed to be what holds these under trays on. They're just the worst bit of engineering in the world. What the hell were they thinking when they made that? They're like, oh, this'll do, let's just, yeah, bzing, 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 bzing. You know, they could have fitted those so fast, but you know, in terms of down the line, how how you're supposed to get that off, how you're supposed to do anything. Push these in here, it's just utter crap, isn't it? I mean, it does nothing moves, it's just solid bit of rust. And then they all break apart and fall apart, and just a bit of crap engineering, that. This here needs a little screw in it, so I'm going to do that now. And then that's it, we're going to drop the car down. I've got a battery on its way, and a new battery for the remote, and we'll get this done when it's on the deck and we're outside, but that's unscrewing nicely, so that's cool. And we'll get the number plates and stuff put on. There's our paint code, LY7W. It's time now to wheel this Audi outside and get the pressure washer on it, which I'm very excited about because I've got a new one. Here it is. This is a Nilfisk Core 140. I bought a Nilfisk one. I've been, looking at them for a while. They've won a few awards and stuff. Karcher, like my old one. My old Karcher has lasted years and years and years and years. So it's not a bad pressure washer at all. However, everything's made of plastic inside it, so it leaks from everywhere. And sometimes it doesn't turn on, you've got to smash it and all sorts of stuff like that. This one though, I'm told, a lot of the stuff inside is made of metal, should last a bit longer, should be a bit nicer. So we're going to give that a go. I've also got some TFR and some snow foam, and this, an under chassis nozzle. And I did use one of these as well, to do the underneath the car in one of the last episodes, which I can still do as well, but that is going to be a bit more powerful. And look, I couldn't have done this without the help of the Patreonaires. The Patreon for Tasty Classics allows me to get new bits like that and just essentially take risks on cars, like that Austin out there. That Austin, that whole video, it's probably cost me a lot of money. So you win some, you lose some. It's just the way it is. And I can't make, fun, interesting videos without being able to take that risk sometimes of going out there and things not being exactly as I would have wished them to be. But it's not a problem. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's not like, money-wise the end of the world. This stuff as well, anything could have been wrong with this. We just don't know. But for the sort of money that they are, I can just take a chance on them. And it's fun because, hopefully you guys watching can be like, oh, well, if he's taking a chance for it, it's only cost him that, maybe I might do the same, But the Patreons allowing me to buy cars like that, buy the pressure washer to clean them with. Listen, we need to, give them all a big thanks. Huge, huge, huge help. I'm going to get this car outside, we're going to get it pressure washed, and I'm going to put the names of all of the new Patreonaires who've joined since the last time we did this on the side of the car. And if you want your name on the side of the car as well, just head to the link in the description and you can join up on there. It costs you a few quid, we'll send you some stickers and stuff, But if you can't afford anything, listen, don't worry. We're still going to be mates. I don't like, you don't have to spend any money to watch this channel. This channel is all about just subscribers and things like that. So if you can't afford to give me all your wages every month, hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. Just hit the subscribe button and that'll help massively, Anyway, right, let's get this thing outside. I'm fully prepared to transform this thing now. The ABS light did just come back on as I drove it back out then though. We'll plug it in afterwards and we'll find out what exactly that is, but I can almost guarantee that's where all the budget is going to go on this car. It's time to cue the music, and the music's a bit different in this episode. This is a song called It's Still Just a Hoover by the Golgis. A viewer emailed and said, Ben, play my song while you're washing the car. And I was like, yeah, okay. If you've got a band and you want me to play the song of your band while you're doing it, if you think it fits, it's got to be, it's got to work, then email me. The link is in the description. The email address is in the description of the video. Email me the song and I'll play it and this is absolutely brilliant. I love it. So yeah, let's get the stuff out.
So you've been out and bought yourself a Dyson. Hey, that's cool, a highly effective tool. I hear it's a particularly nice one, pricey too, but I really have to say this to you. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. Don't give me any of that vacuum cleaner speak. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. It's still a Hoover to me. Suppose you'll now be doing the Dysoning. Are you sure? On the lounge and the kitchen floor, you'll really still be doing the hoovering. And what's more, it's an unwritten law. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. Don't give me any of that vacuum cleaner speak. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. It's still a Hoover to me. You could have had a Shark or a G-Tech, an LG as well, Zanussi or a Dell, Henry, Hetty, Miele, too many to tell. But however many whistles and bells, it may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. Don't give me any of that vacuum cleaner speak. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. It's still a Hoover to me. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. Don't give me any of that vacuum cleaner speak. It may be a Dyson, but it's still a Hoover. It's still a Hoover to me.
Holy smokes. I'm going to put this out there, look. Audi TT's the most bang for buck at the moment. What a car. It's come up so nice, this thing. Really has. You know, it's only just had a quick jet wash as well, just to get all the crap off. I've still got to do the wheels, got to give it a proper scrub with some more soapy stuff I've got to do underneath. Still a lot more to do, but I mean, it's so much car for the money. Surely gorgeous looking thing, isn't it? You know, look at that. It just looks like you're ready to sort of nip into town, have your nails done. I might go and get my nails done after this. Maybe some sort of eyebrow extensions. What do girls get? I don't know. Look at it, isn't it great? Nice car. Just to put this into context as well, of sort of how much of a steal this is. That Nilfisk pressure washer, which is really good, I've really enjoyed it. Cable's been, you know, really big and stuff. It's just, you know, it's a great bit of kit. Very powerful, very nice. That was £209 plus VAT, 209. This whole bloody car cost 250. Wow. And I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it probably was a little bit sort of cheap. However, you've got to think, no MOT, it was absolutely disgusting, and it still is in many places, and it's not got, you know, no MOT. Did I say that? Oh, and it's on the register. It's been written off in the past. I mean, it's still okay, you can still drive it round, but these cars do exist. They are out there. Go on eBay, go and buy one, go and make an offer. Just great bits of kit, you know, as a little toy just to mess about with. Going to enjoy this. Had a couple of ideas with the stereo and sound system and stuff on this car as well. It has got the Bose, which, if you know about car stereos, is a problem if you want to upgrade the head unit, but it's not too much of a problem on this because there's conversion kits, but I'll explain more about that later on in the video when we sort it out. But for now, I need to carry on with the car on the outside, do underneath, do all the other bits, give it a good scrub, make it look all nice, and then I'll show you afterwards, and then we can get stuck into the interior. I just put a new battery in the key, and check this out. It now works. However, does the boot work? Oh god, the boot works as well. Amazing. Now look, it wasn't as straightforward as that. I had to sort of Google it, and it said insert the key into the driver's side door, use the key to unlock, and then lock the door manually, move the key, blah blah blah. I did all that and it bloody worked. How does it know where the... How does it know though? How does it know where the key was and how? Is there a computer in the door handle? This is insane, modern cars. Buzzing that that works though. That's, again, you know, that battery was £1. We'll add that to the total so far. Battery newydd has arrived, which is new battery in Welsh. So we need to get rid of this one, put that one in, and also tidy up these things. Whoa. This battery was incredible value. £83.36 including VAT, plus the £1.20 including VAT for this little tiny battery for the remote, gives us this total. Right, now I would like to try and secure this down properly. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Let me get a tool. Oh, it's undoing as well. Let's turn up for the books. Oh, it's a good job, it's really light. Okay. Get off. This is really difficult. This is why people usually throw away their battery clamps, because they're bloody awkward things. Oh, but I think we're there. Oh, I've just found 1.5 of those clips that hold the plastic thing on, so I can take these over to the parts department, see if I've got anything similar. Not going anywhere. Right, let's get the electric bits connected. Take those off. What size did we say they were? Okay, we have B8 Tours. What film is that a reference off? Let me know if you know. We're all buttoned up and just topping up some liquids. Does it look like I'm just pouring this down the wing of the car? It's a weird place to have it, isn't it? But works, I suppose. Nice. Okay. I'm going to check the other fluids, and I've put the number plates on. Do you have a look? Very nice. It's amazing how quickly a number plate can ruin a car, isn't it? And the back one's all in. Looking very nice and semi-road legal. I've got a tyre on its way to A51 MOT place. They're going to fit that for me tomorrow while the car is down for its MOT, which is so exciting. I don't know how it's going to do though. I've got the feeling there might be something like bushes, trailing arms, something like that, because that wheel's ever so slightly in, but I guess we'll sort of see how it fares. The rest of the car though, I've just got to get nice and clean and presentable and enjoyable, which isn't going to take long. The interior's not too big on these. Do the windows, and then I think we should plug it in before it goes, see if we can clear those codes. It's one of those things, isn't it? I can't immediately see anything obvious that it would fail on if those lights can be cleared. Imagine I'm driving around in this for the weekend. Take a girl to the cinema or something. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? The wind's making the job slightly tougher today. Only because I've ended up wearing half of the stuff that I've sprayed onto the car, which is less than ideal. But it's the price you pay for these sorts of things, isn't it? All the jack and brace and everything's there. So good. Let's put the lock and wheel nut back in there. Wow, back where it should be. Got the original spanner and everything. Right, so that would go... What the hell? I've just... Bloody hell, I've just bought these online. This is the key for the radio. Just bought that online. It's got a genuine one in the toolkit in the boot. I've never seen that before, coming with radio things. That's blown me away. Wow, I mean, I've already ordered them. They're only £2. But that's really, really cool. That's really good. Got no idea where that's supposed to go, so we'll leave it in there. Oh, it's supposed to go on here, but one of the things has snapped. Oh well, don't need it anyway, do we? Oh God. All the spiders are running for their lives as I'm doing this. What's this thing like in the rear? Apart from being small, it's not too bad. Hoover and a wipe down, that's okay. This seat though, I mean, that's seen better days, hasn't it? What's been on there? Bag of chips has been left on there or something. Horrendous. We didn't even look in the glove box, did we? Oh yeah, we did. I'm praying that a book jumps out. Sometimes they have slots under the seats, but you know, like a book, so we get the radio code. Yeah, right, let's give this a clean. Ta-da! She looks like brand new, the bloody thing. How nice. Henry's been busy. Thanks for your service, Henry. Doesn't say much. Nice guy. This thing is really nice. It's a really nice car. Let's just jump inside. I do like a TT. I've driven TTs before. I've never owned one, but they've passed through my hands several times. I do like them. The fit and finish is epic. Can't exactly call the car finished though until we've got the Tasty Classics air freshener on display. Very nice. Right, down there somewhere, you'll be able to see better than me, is a diagnostic port. I can feel it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. There it is. Ah, we in? Is it in yet? Let's see if we get any codes as to what is wrong. Hang on. Steering lock. As to what is wrong with this machine. I've noticed that other light has just gone off though. Let's just try and start her up. Well, the amazing thing is that light has now gone off. I wonder if it's going to come on as soon as we try and move. This is what I mean about these lights. Remember me saying at the start that Audi TT stuff, I mean, that it's just on and off like nobody's business. They're a bit of a bit of a faff. Anyway, let's see what this ABS light is saying, if we can read it. I'm speeding this up for you as well, this is not real time. Brake pressure sensor 1. Left rear ABS wheel speed sensor. Left rear, that's where that noise was coming from. And brake pressure sensor 1. Implausible signal. I wonder if that one's caused by that one. What I also want to know is what we should always try and figure out is, does erasing the code fix the problem? Probably not. Right then, so let's just move the car backwards and forwards slightly and see what happens. We've got no lights on the dash of this Audi TT. You fell over then, are you okay? Okay, I mean, nothing came on then as I moved it backwards and forwards, and that does mean that if it does come on while we're driving, if I take my code reader to the MOT place, clear it as I leave it in their car park, hopefully the act of them driving it in for an MOT and using the brakes and stuff won't send it back on. And maybe it is just a fault from being stood and rusty and stuff, and now that we've given it a pressure wash and a drive, might have freed it up. It's pretty freezing. Day 3, I want to take this thing down for the MOT. However, there's a couple of little jobs I won't mind doing first. I need to, before I order something for this stereo, I need to have a look behind it and see what connections we've got. I know there's a CD changer located sort of there on the inside, which is pretty cool. So it should be alright. But I want to have a look at the connections on the back of the stereo and see if there's a certain plug that I can get so I can turn it into the original stereo into a Bluetooth stereo, basically. Sorry if I was shouting then, but the air compressor was on. And yeah, then I need to polish these headlights up, just in case he wants to fail them on those, which, you know, would be completely understandable. But I'm going to give them a quick wet and dry, and I'm just going to get the buffer on them and try and make them look as nice as I can, because they are pretty rats, you know. Right, let's see how easily this thing comes out. Should be able to feel a little spring on the side or something. Might need 5 hands. Oh yes, come on. That's how we get that out. Let's turn it off just in case. Okay, what have we got on the back? Just taking photos of all the labels so I can get the radio code for it. But yeah, so this is, it's just not as straightforward as a normal stereo. Look at those exposed wires there though, that's a bit sketchy, isn't it? Maybe do something about that. Maybe not though. Yeah, they're just... Oh, hang on. I do believe that might be one of the things that I was going to buy. That's a little, I'm sure that's a little Bluetooth. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? So yeah, it basically connects into there, and that's a Bluetooth thing, but it's supposed to work off the AUX, which this one doesn't have, but it does have the CD, so I'm wondering if that's what happens when you press the CD. Allergic to something, you know. Right, so that is very, very interesting. And what the crack is with this is you can't just put a normal stereo. You can't just get a aftermarket stereo, change the ISO loom, and you can't do that, because it's got the Bose stereo. The rear speakers are active, which means they've got subs, amps, sorry, in them. And the amps need all sorts of signals and stuff and power and things, and this is what this does with all the wiring. Your normal stereo won't do that, so if you plug your normal stereo in, you won't get the right sound. I know that because I've done it in the past with my Amiga, which had a Bose system. So you do have to fork out for the right stuff, which is fine, but this looks like it's had some sort of Bluetooth adapter, so I'll get the stereo code. Might do that now if I can. And then we'll see if that Bluetooth thing does anything. You can see it's got like a power wire there, so maybe it was attached to some power at some point. Did it work? Did it not? I don't know. Have I just pulled it out of where it had power? I don't know. Thank you for your purchase, radiocodes.codes. That was £9.99, and it is, I think, it's arrived straight away. 1447. Let's see if this works. So apparently you press these two. 1 4 4 7, and then hold them down. Come on, we fixed it. That's amazing.
These days we have two things, don't we? We have people can record things on their smartphone. Right,
that's really, really cool. So FM, FM1, FM2, AM, AM1, AM2. So tape, no tape. It's not showing CD though either. It's not. There is a CD changer there. Just found this pen under the seat. Just in case this helps the next person save some money. Code 1447. Amazing. So yeah, we've got tunes. I wonder if this is something to do with why we've not got any other thing. And I know, before anybody chimes in, that you can get FM Bluetooth like connectors. They're just shite. I really, really don't want to have one of those in my car. I honestly don't. You can buy a kit that you can put a normal stereo in these and change all of the wiring to work with the Bose speakers, but the cheapest one I've found is like £100. I don't really want to spend that if I don't have to, but I will if I have to, because I'd rather it than just not only having radio. We have some mobile power. I wonder what's going to happen if I just stick 12 volts to this. Is it going to blow the stereo up? Maybe. Okay, I think that's connected. Search for a Bluetooth thing. Jairui BT5908. Could be that. I've never heard of that before. There's nothing else around here that would be that. Just no markings on there. What? Oh, it's flashing now. Pair. Right, so I'm playing tunes to that, but I can't select it.
Southgate team.
Okay, well, I've come to the conclusion that the car doesn't know it's got a CD player, so it won't let you press the CD player button. And I think it doesn't know because this thing here, this Bluetooth Magoogle, is in the place of where the CD player plug used to go. So if I put that back in, which looks like the CD player plug, there's only 3 pins in that, and there's like 12T in this one. So no magazine. So right, so now it knows we've got a CD player. Okay, so for now at least I've got the radio and I've got a CD player if I wanted to play CDs. I'll have to do some archaeology, try and find some. The stereo does not have an aux button, right? It only has tape CD. This waste of time only works on cars that have got a aux button on the stereo, so not good for this stereo system. There is another adapter I can buy, so I'm going to go and buy one of those and spend loads of money, and then we'll have Bluetooth tunes. And now for the headlights. What I'm doing here is I'm just using my Milwaukee with quite a stiff pad and some G3, and I'm just buffing them like you would a scratch or paintwork. That's it. That has responded to it really, really well. So if you sort of see the before on this one, really murky, and then just using the ultra compound on that, just these tools and then a bit of super resin afterwards, she's super shiny and see-through, which is perfect. And that is, you know, you look at that straight away, it's past its MOT, hasn't it, you know? So yeah, just got to do the same to this one now. We've got shiny lights again, covers that you can see through, which is what it's all about, isn't it? And the thing is with doing this as well, I mean, that's not going to last forever, but it'll get us through the test today. More permanent options, you can like sand them down a bit and re-lacquer them and all sorts of stuff like that, but only if you can be bothered, you know. That window has put itself down by that much, which is fun, isn't it? Why has it done that? Only one thing for it now. Let's go and drive this thing on the roads. Go and stick some petrol in it. Not that it needs any, but I think we should anyway. Excited. See what this thing drives like. Really, really interested. So far, so good. Okay. First gear, yes please. Let's just see if we can make it to the entrance without any of those lights coming back on. Bloody Mazda overheated last night as well. I think a pipe split, lost all its coolant. So I'm going to fix that when I get back. So far we've done sort of 10 mile an hour and we're okay. So far so good. Oh, right, open road, here we come. That's 30. That's 40. No lights. Come on. What are these wipers doing? Are they gonna pass? Very slow wipers. Doing well though, the wipers are good. So I had a look on the MOT history last night. This thing has only done 2,000 and a bit miles since its last MOT, so surely, you know, we can't be in for too much of a shock here. Surely, come on baby. But what's this thing like to drive? There's a bit of traffic, so it's a bit difficult to tell, and I am, I don't know, I'm more nervous than normal. There we go. do that window up, that's better. First of all, I am sat very high. Any way I can lower my seat? Oh, yes! Come on! Oh, million times better. Now that's a driving position right there. That is, oh God, thank God for that, because I was really uncomfortable then. Just that little bit of difference means I was sort of like sit up and beg. I could almost feel my head touching the roof. Oh, that's so good. Maybe, is that too far maybe? No, I like it. God, that is a really nice driving position. Yeah, great. Okay. So, first impressions are that the steering is straight, and that is a big, big, big thing for me. I hate cars where the steering's on the piss, you know, when the tracking's out. It feels very, very quiet. It feels very, very refined, as you'd expect from an Audi. No rattles, clunks, bangs or knocks, which is interesting considering it has been written off in the past as well. It is on the crash register. I think it's a Cat S. Still getting my head around the new sort of Cat rules. Was it Cat N? I don't know. But yeah, it seems to be all right. It does seem to be okay. Not taking it over sort of 3,000 RPM yet, but it feels like it's got plenty of go. Plenty of go. I bet, judging by that cam belt sticker as well, I think the mileage was only a couple of thousand less. I imagine it would have had a full service then as well. Maybe we can check like the condition of the air filter at some point, see how clean that is. Because everything else looked really nice, the oil and stuff. So if it only had that a couple of thousand to go, it's probably not worth doing it again. God, yeah, this thing feels great. Am I comfortable? I am comfortable. I have got an ulterior motive with this car. I was thinking over the last couple of days as I've been working on it, I've been considering my yearly Nürburgring trip. Oh God! I never usually go this time of year, right slap bang in the middle of the year. It's the middle of June or towards the end of June at the moment. 5th gear, beautiful. And that is usually for me, stay away like, because it's just too busy, there's too many people there. However, now that this has come along, and I feel like I could do with a few days break. Some people like to go and sit in the south of France on a beach, and that's their holiday. My holiday is driving to Germany and flashing a car on a racetrack. So I'm feeling that if this does okay for its MOT and we don't get any problems and it continues, you know, doing what it's doing, I think we might give this Audi TT the ultimate reliability test, and we'll take it to the Nürburgring in Germany and we'll kick its head in around the racetrack and see how it performs. We're in a 60 zone, and the person in front of me in this Peugeot 5008 Classic is doing 45 miles an hour. There's people in turbocharged cars behind you, come on. Yeah, so potentially I'm going to take this to the ring. I've got a few things on the way. I want to sort the Bluetooth stereo out. I need to make sure I've got my tunes for the trip, and I've got an air conditioning regas kit, and I'm going to have a go live on film for you guys to see at charging my own air conditioning, because I've got a few cars that need air conditioning, so I'm going to have a go at doing it myself with one of those eBay kits, and we'll see how we get along. So far, touch wood, no lights as well. Right, let's give this a bit of a beasting here now. Get past this car. Hell yeah. That was nice. That was really nice. That was up to sort of 6,250 RPM. Smooth as silk. Turbo really felt like it was working. Everything felt like it was working perfectly then. Listen, it's not going to set the world on fire in terms of performances. It's only 180 horsepower, but that is enough to have fun. More than enough to have fun, you know. There's a famous quote from the guy who invented the MX-5 and the RX-7, and he said something like, I'm gonna mess this up, but the quote is something like, in the MX-5, when you're driving it, you're having fun, you're going as fast as you can, and you're smiling. When you drive the RX-7, you're driving it as fast as you can, you're going really fast, but you're not smiling. And I totally get it, I understand. Might be more rewarding. Do enjoy a fast car, don't get me wrong. I'm hoping that Capri is going to be pretty ridiculous when it's done. But just as something to sort of throw around some corners, let's see what this is like. Let's see what this Haldex four-wheel drive system's like. You know, on a track where it matters. Take it back to the motherland. There. Cool tractor. She goes all right, you know, she goes all right. It's nice having a turbocharger. I do like a turbocharger. Allows you to sort of nip round lorries. See that MGTF then? That was cool. I'm going to do one of those one day, I think. You're quite simply maybe not going to believe this, but it surely went and bloody passed her MOT. This car owes me next to nothing. And it's such a large amount of car for the money. It's incredible. Look, you don't want to take a shitbox to the ring. You want to take something that's nice and that looks presentable, so when you're driving out into the car park going past Devil's Diner, people could be like, ooh, it's a nice Mark 1 you got there. That kind of thing. So that being said, we've spent so little on this car so far, I've been out and spent some more money just to make this thing look, well, better than it does now. I'm missing a grille down there, so I've ordered one and I'm picking it up tomorrow with another car for the channel because they're in the same town. These wheels are all pretty disgusting, this one particularly. So I've purchased some items what to fix those with, which is going to be fun. We're going to do a wheel refurb on this Audi today. Cool. This bit of sadness here is corroded for some reason. The other side hasn't, but this one has. So we're going to fix that, as well as a couple of little stone chips. And of course, this wheel arch. We're going to get that wheel arch all nice. And then, yeah, give the car a bit more of a spit shine. Look at this as well. Dead cool. Tasty Classics window cling stickers. Doesn't that look dead cool? Available link description. If you want one of those, you can buy one. I've also ordered one of those. Hopefully I'll be picking that up same time as the grill. I'm still getting over the fact that this thing passed its MOT, and I have been using it for the past 2 days. It's incredible. It's like, it drives like brand new. It's insane. Few advisories though, one of which was this condensated headlight. So we're going to try and do something about that because it looks a little bit grim. So we're going to try and sort that somehow. There was also this bottom arm. Bushes were worn, but not resulting in excessive movement. Fine, leave it alone, drives perfectly, so whatever. And then the rear shock absorber that was a bit corroded, we spotted. It's just corrosion on the outside, everything's still working on the inside. So, flying colours, really. I've put new wiper blades on it, just for posterity. And the total, so far, of this 12-month MOT'd car, you could stop here and drive this thing round, but the total so far, God, isn't this table magnificent? Do you like it? I like it. What do you think? So cheap for such a lot of car. But before we get stuck into these other bits over here, there was one little job that I did yesterday that I'm just going to talk you through very, very quickly. The gear stick was not returning back to its centre. Do you remember like the Saab that we did, the Saab 9.3? The springiness had gone in it. It was stiff. So I thought this was going to be a bit of a nightmare job, but I went digging, had a look underneath the airbox, and I could see it all there. And to my surprise, it was a case of just removing a clip and pulling the pin out that it pivots on. Pulled that out, took it over to the bench, give it a proper good cleaning, bit of sanding down because there was a bit of corrosion on it, cleaned everything else up, slotted it all back in, and as you can see there, the gear stick is just absolutely fine. No, it's all perfect and back together, and it took like 5-10 minutes, if that. Amazing. There's a couple of other jobs that I would still like to do with this car, and I'd like to have a go at those this morning, because that would be fun, wouldn't it? Before I get stuck into some painting stuff. Do you want to see what I bought? This is a little bit of like show and tell, this, isn't it? So, first of all, I think this is for the stereo. Well, it certainly looks that way. Car audio installation accessories. We've got that thing. Do you remember with the cable? Lots more cables going into it this time, so my hopes are high. And a few other stuff. I think that might be the first job of today because it's a little bit cold for the start of July. So we'll sit inside the car for a bit. What's in here? What's in this box? Okay, in here we have a counterpump. What does a counterpump do? Stop leak for R134A, which is the correct gas for this Audi, I'm led to believe. O-ring, O-seal conditioner. Auto air conditioning counterpump. R134A replacement. Sounds like a Nissan Skyline, that, doesn't it? And then this machine. And there's some instructions in there, but I have briefly watched a video on it. This feels like a nice bit of kit as well. And then into the car and you twist, and I've never done anything like this before. This is going to be interesting. And if this works, I think, how much was that? I can't remember exactly how much it was, but for the Bluetooth thing, we'll add that to the table. And for this thing, we'll add that to the table. And you can see after we've added a portion of some of this stuff to the table. So I bought a little bit in bulk, which again, you wouldn't need to, but I have. I bought some new Scotch Brights. Because you can never have too many of these things. These are going to be really handy for keying the paintwork before any sort of spraying goes. Use those, majority of those are just going to be for the wheels, just to sort of do bits that don't need much in the way of sanding. Simply can't wait to use these. I got these because I might do more, if this goes well, I've painted plenty of alloy wheels in the past, and I've not done them because I've not done much since, because they're a ball ache to mask, they're a ball ache to sand, they're just not much fun. However, now that I've potentially got a load of these, I might be able to do more to make the wheels look nice, because couple of very important things when you're looking at how presentable a car is in my opinion, windows and wheels. If your windows are clean and your wheels are clean, it makes a massive difference. People go, oh, lovely. Doesn't matter too much about the paintwork. Windows and wheels. So this is a device that goes around the sorry about that. I think I'm losing my mind. Partly because it's so cold in July. But these go around your wheels, and then masking them becomes a thing of the past, because these bits stick underneath the rim. Should make it a lot easier. That's what I'm going on about. Nice. But I got a load of those. Wasn't particularly expensive. They were like 30 quid. And then I got some fade out solvents and blend stuff, because I saw a guy using this the other day. And for that smart repair, the sharp repair that we're going to do, I'm going to have a go with this and see if we can't blend the lacquer lines in a little bit better than I usually do just by sanding them. Knives and spreaders, some grey primer for the wheels, some Audi LY7W light silver paint. I've already got some lacquer over there. And then 3 cans of the wheel silver. And that's what we're going to use to paint these wheels. And with these cans, apparently, you don't need any lacquer or anything. This is just like a 1K. I think that's what he said. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Can't really remember. But he said that perfect, really good. So that's what we're going to do. And then some of this, which is no edge blending tape. No edging tape. So we're gonna use this. Again, I've never used it and it looks weird, but we're gonna use it just on that little smart repair to hopefully make it a little bit nicer. And that's it. All of that set me back £130 and 80p. So we'll have a little bit of a divide and we'll work out exactly what I would have needed, and I'll put that portion in the thing out of what I would have used, because obviously a lot of this I've bought as stock for the cupboard rather than needing it desperately for this job. Okay, what should we do first? This stereo? Never been smoked in. Because we did this the other day, this is going to be an absolute doddle now, of course. It took me about an hour the other day to get this out. I just cut it down on camera. Ah, bastard. Aha, nice. Okay, so where are we up to? So we've got wires coming in. We've got wires coming out of the stereo. Now this cost me, I think it was £99.95p, which is an awful lot of money. There's a little microphone there, which is fun. Oh my god, this looks so much harder and more involved than I thought it'd be. Oh good lord, you've got to do power? Where do we get that from? An earth? I thought this was plug and play. Oh my good lord. Where the hell does all this go? I'm going to blow this up, aren't I? Connecting to the aftermarket Bluetooth hands-free interface instruction manual. Okay, it's all there. Right, let me do this and then I'll show you what I've done. And fingers crossed it will be working and we'll have banging tunes. This is the best thing I've ever done in a car. This is amazing. It's super simple. Didn't need any of this. This is for other vehicles, so didn't need any of that. That's awesome. But now it thinks it's a CD.
Cool. A highly effective tool.
But it's not. It's the Tasty Classics Spotify playlist. People always ask me, what's the music that you play in your videos? Well, there is a playlist on Spotify, so go on there, just search for Tasty Classics music, like that, and you'll be able to save it and then listen to all the tunes. I've got to update it. I haven't updated it in a while, so I will go through and I will update it hopefully tonight. Make sure it's all up to date with all the recent music. But that's awesome, isn't it? How cool is that? And then as well, if you want to change track, I think, yeah, look at that, incredible. You can just do it on the stereo, so I don't need to I've run out of signal. This isn't the stereo, this is my phone. Don't play that, you get copyrighted. But yeah, so amazing. How good? How good? So I don't even need to touch my phone, and I'll have tunes playing. So just absolutely perfect. Really, really, really good. Absolutely made up. And also, I just rang my mate Aled and just tested the microphone, and it all works perfectly. So I've got a bit of routing to do. Gonna have to make some space for things. There's also a charging port and an auxiliary in. So it's just an awesome bit of kit, this. Really, really pleased. 100 quid, but I mean, I've now got Bose level tunes on Bluetooth, and it's a million times better than any FM thing. FM things are just a complete nuisance. Don't buy them.
Both hands on the wheel. Show me faded color. Fields of chamomile.
I don't get copyrighted for those musics. I pay absolute fortune of a subscription for these things, but it's worth every penny. I'm going to put all this back together then, and that is one big job ticked off, and I'm super pleased with it.
I forgot to mention that I have a strong urge and thirst for the word.
How good. I don't know how well you can see that, it's a bit dark, but that's a really nice clean little install of the Bluetooth box in the glove box there, with the microphone and everything connected, and the space underneath for me to put in some you know, charging things if I need to charge my equipment. Tidy. And then up there, I don't know if you can see, you've got your little microphone for your Bluetooth, and this thing is now playing Bose quality Bluetoothy stuff. Couldn't be happier with that. Did take me a couple of hours, but I mean, it's just worth every sort of bit of effort, isn't it? Turns it into a much, much, much more modern, enjoyable car. I'm looking at spending, in the next episode of this TT, when I take it to the Nürburgring, I'm probably looking at, I don't know, 20 hours worth of driving, 15, 20 hours worth of driving. It's important that it's a nice place to be. Speaking of which, we have a little look at this air conditioning. I've never done this before in my life, but fingers crossed it's going to be fairly straightforward. See this little cap thing here? This little circle? I've just taken this cap off it, and that is apparently your recharge point. Now what I need to do is to start the car, switch the AC on, and then connect my gubbins. Right, so I'm twisting this cap on. Always end up with a few battle scars when you're working on stereos under the dash as well. And then I'm going to connect this thing. Now this thing is just a push on. That feels like it's connected. And then allegedly, I mean, that's not showing anything there, but I'm just sort of opening there's a little seal in there, and I think this screw is just sort of stabbing into it. Oh yeah, okay. Is it going up? Oh right, okay, so I just turn it a little bit and it'll fill it up. So I need to be at the top of this blue, or somewhere in this blue bit, I'd imagine. Got to do it with the can upside down. Oh, sure, I felt the AC compressor just kick in then. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, you can feel it's ice cold. Look at that. Freezing cold. I don't know if that's everything. Let me just go and feel the thing. Oh my God. Oh, got fucking ABS lights on. Look at that. ABS light, no other light. How bloody annoying. That is ice cold. Ice cold AC. Can you see how cold that is? That's amazing. That was like 30 seconds work and about 45 quid. Full. I think that's empty, that can as well, which is a shame, because I mean I would like to have done some on the Passat and stuff outside. I don't think it's any more is going into it, but I think that's exactly where you want it to be. I mean, it doesn't particularly get more straightforward than that, does it? I'm going to unplug that and then, I don't know, see if it feels like there's anything left in it, I might go and put it in the Passat. This old bus has never ever had air conditioning. The air conditioning has always been like hot, you know. So I've got a little bit left in that, and then that is full, but this is stop leak, O-ring and seal conditioner. Maybe that'll make it cold as well with a little bit of this, I don't know. But it's, yeah, there's nothing at the moment, so what have we got to lose? It's be amazing if I can do two. This is the best thing, just go outside and recharge your aircon. That Audi in there is like a freezer. It's frozen over, all the inside. Amazing. Okay, so just pop that on there. I've already removed the cap. I've just heard it fill, even though I didn't really mean for it to, because I didn't have the engine running. But I did just hear it fill. Hasn't been started for a few days, so it's a bit slow. Like them. I mean, it's just gone into the blue on there. And I think that is properly empty now. Right, let's try this. It's got like a thing, and it's got a pin in there, so you screw this on without piercing it, and then you pierce the seal in the can with this little thing. You have to do it upside down, and it's filling it up. Don't know if this stuff's going to make it cold. Oops, it says alert, so I better stop there. What do you think? Are we going to have cold aircon? Let's give it a minute to do its thing and then I'll feel it. But that does feel cold. What else have I got? What about the Frontera? I think I've run out of stuff though. But I think you could just buy these quite cheaply for the different kinds of AC that your car might have. These are both R134A. I don't know if that's like because they're Germans, but brilliant, amazing. I wish I'd figured that out 10 years, 20 years ago, you know, bloody hell. The amount of times I've been hot. I love this old Passat. The corners of it are in really bad shape because I use it to push cars around the yard. I'll show you. See all these like scratches and dents and stuff? Look at that there, that one, that's really bad, isn't it? People think, God, he's not a very good driver, but it's genuinely because I'm using it to push other cars around the yard that don't run or don't run particularly well. I could use the truck, but the only problem with the truck is it's too high. So these things tend to jump up over whatever it is that I'm pushing, whereas the Passat's quite low, so it's fine. And it's just, yeah, it's a solid old workhorse. 200,000 miles up it. Anyway, what's this like? Oh, I can feel coldness there. It's better than it was, but I think it needs more of that refrigerant. I only put the seal stuff in, so I'll buy another tub of that refrigerant for this, and I'll give it another go. But it's definitely an improvement. It was like warm before, and now it's cold, but not as cold as the Audi. This episode is going significantly better than the last video that came out. I'm loving it. how good is this thing? It's just everything's, you know, taken to everything very, very nicely. It's all doing what I wanted it to do for a lot less money. And I'm going to end up with a really nice car at the end of this. And I want to start making it look presentable though. There's a few jobs I need to do. First of all though, I want to have a little look into this and see if I can get access through where the bulbs go and maybe try and clean it up inside. Oh, it really doesn't want to come out of there, does it? Whoops. Oh. This wasn't one that I put in, by the way. This was in there already with bloody Audi or something by the looks of it. Oh my God. Right, okay, let's ignore that for a second. Right, I've just removed the side light bulb and now I have, oh no, it's got a cap on it. Oh no. There's no through road. Slightly frustrating, but because these are the bi-xenons, they've got these plastic caps that cover the bulbs, so it sort of the displaces, if that makes any sense. And now I can't get anything in there because they're in the way, so you can replace the bulb, but you can't get in there. It's almost like it's pretending to be a sealed unit. I say pretending because it obviously isn't, because there's spider's webs in there. So how did they get in? Aha! I have a hole into the back of the headlight. So I don't know if you can see, but that hole there, I can now sort of get access to. Ooh, that's my finger. So my initial plan is to sort of maybe, I don't know, it's gone dead weird. Maybe spray, well, maybe just smash loads of air into it and see what that does. This milkiness that we're trying to get rid of. I can see loads of water at the bottom and some cobwebs moving. Not doing anything though. I can't take this cover off because it's bonded on. I've got to sort of like heat them and peel them off, and I don't know, just looks like a huge amount of fat. The hole's really small as well, so I can't like get anything bigger than this pipe through really. But it's like, just seeing how tough it's properly baked on there, whatever it is. To clean it properly, I'd have to get the cover off the headlight. I was thinking of like putting a bit of glove, a finger over and trying to use that maybe. But the holes, if I put that and put a cable tie around it, I won't be able to get it out, I don't think. The cable tie would be too big to get out the hole. Another thing I can do is I'm going to pick up one of those grills from a breakers. If he's got a nice headlight for this, and he wants 25 quid for it or something, might be worth just doing that instead, putting a nice new headlight in it. Or, you know, second-hand one that's good. Not full of water. Okay, I'll have a think about it, but for now, we'll do something else. There's lots of these fine scratches on this car, and because it's silver, it doesn't look too bad, and I think, don't quote me on this, but this is why silver was invented. I'm sure someone invented silver so it would hide scratches. I can't remember it, I don't know if I'm making that up. Anyway, I'm going to try and get as much, it's all sort of the bottom half of the car down is just covered in stuff like that. So I've got my machines, bit of G3, ultra cutting compound, and I'm just going to go around the car, just sort of, yeah, polishing these things up, seeing if I can make it look that little bit better. I have got the bigger buffer as well, but that, because it's a rotary, is just that little bit more better at this kind of stuff, even though it does create a bit of splatter. Anyway, let's crack on. So what I've done there is essentially just tidy all the sort of light marks up on the bottom of the car while it's on the ramp, and sort of, you know, looking at bits like this, it's like, right, that's mint, that's mint, that's mint, apart from that one scratch, which I don't know if I want to mission creep all the way over here to paint it. I don't think it's too worth it. You can't even see it that badly. But this bit here, now I know that I can sort of mask this line here, cut down across there, and I can just sort of prepare this bit, which is nice. Everything else around it is good. All the other arches and stuff, just looking great. Dead happy with everything. On the back, it was very, very grimy, so I've just sort of made it a lot less grimy. All looks great, doesn't it, really? Now what I want to do is sort of start filling this thing in, really, cleaning it up, doing all that sort of stuff, and getting it ready to lay some filler on. And then I'm going to be doing the same with the wheels, really, while it's up on the ramp, and then we'll take them off to paint them, but it's just easier to do when it's sort of this height. To avoid any mission creep and to avoid any other paintwork being damaged, just going to do a little bit of masking on the areas that I don't want to be affected. Do I want to go that high? Yeah, okay, let's do it. This isn't the final masking, this is just, as I said, to stop damaging any other paintwork. Now see that lip there has sort of been bent out, so I'm just going to do something involving this pair of pliers with the keys in it. Oh, steering lock, for fuck's sake. Now we have to get a little bit, you've got to break some eggs to make an omelette. Safety squints, please. Hey, that's pretty good. So I've just taken down anything that's going to sort of protrude outside of where I want the repair, if that's what you want to call this. And I just need to fill it with a little bit of fiberglass filler, because there's a little hole there. So I'm going to do that. And it's just a case of sanding, filling, sanding, and exactly the same with these wheels here. Filling, sanding, all that sort of stuff. Which is going to be great fun, isn't it? And it's probably me for the next 4 hours. So sit back, relax, and watch me do all the hard work. Hello, it's me, voiceover Ben. Just a quick snapshot of doing this headlight work. I tried every trick in the book. I even sprayed lacquer down a tube through the hole at the back, everything I could to try and get this thing nice, and I just couldn't do it. They're surprisingly expensive. When I went to see the fella to pick up the other stuff, they were just too much money and he didn't have one that was nice enough available. So I've ended up deciding to take this out, which is a huge faff because you've got to take 1 million bolts off the bumper, 1 million bolts off the headlight. It's just a ball ache, which is why I didn't really record it, just a bit of a time lapse. And then, yeah, threw it all back together, but it looked nice at the end, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter about my fingers to the bone, doesn't matter about that. Looks nice. It's now the next day and it's a little bit chaotic in here. Stuff everywhere, bonnets, boots, bumpers hanging on, whatever it is. Random bits of headlights everywhere. I mean, you know, I thought these were the bi-xenons as well, but they're not. Because of these things here, I thought they were, look like it, but they're not. But I've just got so much cleaning up inside. That stuff that was covering the inside of the light as well was like baked on. Weird. Really weird. It's like, I don't know what it is. Just very, very strange. But really hard to get off this. Sanding this for ages last night. I'm going to try and sort of give it a real nice polish today to make it properly nice and see-through, but it's looking a lot better anyway. But yeah, a fair old bit of stuff to do before I'm driving this thing out today. I've also still got to do this, and I need to paint this bit as well. Super happy with how this has turned out so far though. I mean, it's really hard to get those lines and stuff in there, but just looks great. But yeah, I want to paint it and hopefully use that blended in stuff and just sort of see what it looks like. I'm quite excited to use it. So yeah, I've got a fair old bit to catch on with today, and it's always down to the wire, isn't it? It's Thursday now, video goes out to you tomorrow, and I want to get this thing dusted off, polished, and all finished by the end of the day. Easy, he says. But first of all, I'm going to have a tidy up. Those wheels are ready to go back on, and again, they just look so nice. So nice. Really pleased. Going to get those ready to go back on, and then get this headlight done, and then we'll do the painting stuff together so you can see what this like blending stuff's all about. I'm intrigued. I've never done it before. I just watched a video, some guy doing it. I was like, give that a go. This thing is now back together, and I mean, it just needs a bit of a wipe off, bit of a polish, because I've got loads of stuff on there after taking the black silicone splodges from my fingers off. But yeah, it's all back together, and I think it's going to look pretty good, so I'm really happy with that. This thing, I started to mask it up, and then I realised you can just take it out, look. What an idiot. So that's going to be super much easier to paint. So I'm going to give that a sand back now, and then we'll stick it over on the floor and give it a spray. The mother of all mothers is here. Well, she's not here, she's just gone to the garden centre just to get some stuff for these hanging bastards, which is going to be good. We'll have a little bit of a tidy up outside there. Usually do it because summer's here, but again it's like 13 degrees, 14 degrees today. Bizarre. Anyway, this looks good. Just need to give it a quick wipe down now with some panel wipe, take it into the office because it's probably the least dusty place, and just lay some paint and some lacquer down on it, see how it comes out. But yeah, just a nice easy thing, and it will just really brighten up the roof of the car. And because it's the driver's side, as you open the door, it's literally the first thing you see, so I thought it'd be well worth doing. It should only take a couple of minutes. This, again, is not the final masking. This is just going to allow me to put a little bit of primer down on here just to get it all ready, and then I can sort of have a look at these line things and work out where I want to sort of lacquer up to and stuff and paint up to. Oh my god, I've got to run already! No way. Came out there a bit quick, didn't it? But I can give this a rub down afterwards and another go. So that's fine. What a pain. I am trying to rush things a little bit, which isn't paying off. Just because there's just so much to do, so little time. If you wanted to do like the proper job, the proper way of doing this, silver's really hard to match, right? So, and I would have done it this way, but I kind of want to play with the blender stuff, so I'm just messing about essentially on camera. But what you would do is you would paint sort of this bit here, rub it in slightly, rub the rest of the panel, so just to all your gaps, give it a good sort of key, and then you would lacquer the whole panel again. So that way, this bit of colour blends into the old bit of colour, so if the colours are two different things, that colour and that colour are going to blend into each other, which will, you know, is absolutely fine, and is going to really take your eye off any difference of the colour. You could also do the doors and stuff, but for this, I mean, if you, I don't know, see what it's like really. You've still got the original colour there, so it's going to blend into that as well. And then, yeah, you'd lacquer the whole wing, and by lacquering the whole wing, there'd be no lines or anything. But again, I want to have a little bit of a play with this blending thing. I want to see what it's like down here, along there, just out of interest. And one of the reasons why I'm sort of just having a little bit of a play with this today and not doing the sort of lacquering the whole wing thing is that I want to see how good it is, and if it is good, you know, there's potentially, if I ever need to do corners of bumpers and stuff like that where it's quite a big panel, then I can just sort of blend that in rather than, you know, having to paint a whole bumper, lacquer a whole bumper. I can just do the bit that needs it, you know. It's all experimentation, quite a bit of experimentation in this episode with the air conditioning and stuff. Look at all this great stuff. I don't know what any of it is, but look at it, doesn't it look nice? I hope they survive. Will they survive this winter, summer we're having?
Possibly. I mean, you could bring them in when it gets really cold. There's begonias, there's fuchsias, a few fuchsias. You've already got ivy, and I'll get rid of all the weeds and stuff, and just try and make them look a little bit nicer, so everything's bright and cheerful for you.
That's what we like, isn't it? Bright and cheerful. Yeah. All right, thanks very much, Mum. If I need to do any little touch-ups, I just spray a bit of the colour into there, get a little brush, and touch them up. It's not perfect, but it really takes your eye off of everything. So, like, I can see one in there. And then wipe the excess off, and now to the innocent bystander that has disappeared. The one that was on the bonnet there, can't even tell, that's disappeared completely. Beautiful, look at that, so good. I love it. Anywhere else? What about that one there? Nice. Just going to put a little bit more in that once it dries. And that's it. How nice do all these look?
I just hope they grow alright.
So do I. Hope we get some sunshine again. This is this tape then. So I get it. It's like a foam thing, right? And you sort of, you put it on, and then instead of it being a flat edge, it's going to allow some of the sort of lacquer and paint and stuff to creep under it, I'd imagine. And then you sort of, you know, properly mask up to this side, I think. Don't know, but see, like, you can see the masking line there. So I'm just going to rub this bit down before we start painting it, so there's not going to be any sort of hard lines. And I'm going to use this to go across there, and we'll do the same again. We're just pulling it back. It doesn't matter on these, because that's like a hard line where there's a split with a door or something. So yeah, I'm interested. With hindsight, I think that these would have been used best for the lacquer, not the colour, which makes total sense. You wouldn't use them for the colour, you'd use them for the lacquer. So we've got them blending in. So it's fine. I'll just use the colour on this bit and then space them out again. Just learning, you know, it's great, isn't it? Hopefully it should be a really nice repair, this thing. Remember what it looked like. And yeah, I could have just bought a wing, apart from the fact that there wasn't any. There's quite a few on eBay, but they're rusty as hell, because this is a bit of a weak spot on these Audis. The wings do rust. This one hasn't though. Now, it's full of filler. Nice light dust in there first, and yeah. We'll just do that a few times, see how we get on. I mean, from this angle, I can definitely see a bit of a colour difference there. Not blended particularly well. Don't know, can you see it from where you are? Yeah, it's definitely a little bit lighter. Silver. But I'll give it a polish up afterwards and we'll see how well it does stand out. Still got quite a bit of lacquer to put down, then we're going to use this blending stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a bit lighter, that silver. Silver's so hard to get right, especially out of a rattle can as well, because usually if you're using your gun, it's hitting the panel in a slightly different way. That doesn't really have the same pressure and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And silver's got, like, metallics have got flakes in them, and when they sort of land, the light bounces off them in different ways and things, so it is tough. But it's going to look okay, I think. It's actually starting to look a bit better. Don't know why. Maybe with more lacquer. It's eating it in, I don't know. Nice. I'll keep going. Starting to look really quite sharp. And also, look at these badgers. I'm going to leave them inside because it's so bloody windy. My mum thinks the flowers are going to get blown out of the baskets, so they're dead smart, aren't they? They'll go up when the sun comes out. That's really starting to look great. It's had 5 coats of lacquer, so let's see if this edge tape has worked. I mean, yeah, it's better, but there's still definitely an edge there. What about this one? I mean, yeah, still an edge, but definitely a million times better than it would have been. The only thing is there's a little bit of crap in there. It seems to have, like when the wind's blown, it's blown stuff into that gap. And stuff stuck in there, which is a little bit, well, it's not ideal. I'm gonna have to wait for the lacquer to set before I try and clean that off. This bit's all right though, so let's try that blend thing on there. See how well this works. God, it's got a distinctive smell. Interesting. Chemically. I mean, yeah, you can see it kind of sort of doing its thing. However, I can still definitely see the line there. Might have put a bit too much on, I don't know. I think I've definitely put too much on, I don't know what it is. I think it might be thinners. Smells like there's an element of thinners in there. It's sort of like thinning out the lacquer around it and trying to blend it all in as one. And I can kind of see it working, but I can also not. It's weird. It's a strange thing. Let's leave it to do its thing and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. But with a rub down and a polish, it might be the one. Yeah, went back in a lot easier than it came out. Doesn't that look a million times better? I haven't forgot about the costs of this, and it is worth mentioning that that and the side repeater was 40 quid. Do you know when you go to a scrappy and that'd be like, I don't know, a fiver, if that. 40 quid for that and the side repeater. Oh. It's a little bit broken as well. You've got to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Using Tiger Seal. Nice. Much better than that one though, isn't it? You know what I mean? So heavy. God, it's so nice and shiny now. Some manufacturers have studs that hold wheels on. Some don't. So you have to hold them on and do the nuts up at the same time. It's almost like one of the games you'd find in the Crystal Maze. Do you remember that TV show? And they'd be like, quick, get the wheel bolts in, get the wheel bolts in, quick, the wheel's gonna fall off, quick, get it, do it. Nice. The son must have heard me because he's come out. Just a few more bits to button back up and we're ready for the reveal. You excited? I'm so excited! Nigel, if you're watching, which I hope you are, thank you for selling me this TT. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that I was able to bring it back to how it is now from where it was before. It's just such a great car. I'm over the moon with it. The air conditioning is ice cold. Everything works so well. The stereo, the OEM plus stereo, you know, I've got my Bluetooth in there. It's a dream. The whole thing's great. I really like it. I've got a week before I set off for the Nürburgring, and I'm going to take you all with me as well. So I want to see over that week, is everything going to be okay, and is there going to be anything else I need to do before I head off? I don't think there will be, but you never know what a week's worth of driving is going to throw up, you know. So I spent the last sort of couple of hours just giving the car a good polish on the outside, tidying up any last little bits, having a look at that wing as well, and just doing what I can to make it look as good as I can. And I'm happy enough with it. It's not 100%, but it's a lot bloody better than it was. So before I show you what this thing looks like, the reveal that we've all been waiting for, let's have a look and remind ourselves of what this thing was like and how bad it was when I picked it up. For you, sort of 2.5 hours ago, but for me, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. What better place to show off a Mark 1 TT than an office car park? That's where they all ended up, isn't it? What do you think of this repair? Looks all right from there, doesn't it? That headlight as well was an absolute ball ache, and it's just turned out so well. A couple of bits I could do nothing about, but you know, compared to what it was, what a transformation. And yeah, great, saved me a load of money as well, load of time. Well, maybe not a load of time, but a load of money. Looks great. The wheels, you know, the wheels have just come up so well. Look at that, compared to again how they were. Just amazing. And yeah, can still see some bits and stuff there, so I don't know, should have lacquered it all the way around there. You know, there's still time, still plenty of time to do a better job if I can be bothered. But I just wanted to try that sort of blendy stuff, and yeah, maybe I'll try it again one day. I think it's just, I don't think it was the product that was in the wrong, I think it was just user error. I think I just maybe rushed it a bit, needed to take my time, and sort of, I can still see some of the primer and stuff under there, so I just needed to maybe do it a bit differently, do it a bit better. But I like experimenting with stuff. And from here, God, it just looks amazing. No big hole in the wing. But yeah, rest of the wheels looks so good. This wheel in particular was an absolute nightmare to do. I had to get the belt sander on it and everything. It was just so rough. So there's still a few marks in it, but you know, for what it is, I think it looks superb. You know, inside as well, it's just an absolute treat, isn't it? It's such a nice place to be when you're in there. It really is. So look, that's going to be it. I've done what I set out to do. We've done so much with this little Audi, just tons. It's great. I've loved every minute of it, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. And if you have enjoyed watching it and you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, because I do this sort of stuff all the time, taking old cars that are a bit wrecked and just sort of giving them a new lease of life, because this is a real nice example of a TT now, and you know, I'm going to enjoy sort of hanging on to it for a bit, forever, who knows. Let's see if the values increase, let's see how long, well, how long it lasts before more lights come on the dash. But either way, it's a cool thing. And look, thanks very much for coming along with me on the journey. So I'll see you in the next one. It'll be next Friday, don't know what it's going to be yet. And then the week after that, or maybe the week after that, you'll be able to watch this thing flying around the Nürburgring. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of Audi TTs. Do you think this was good? Do you think I should do more modern classics? Or cars that are going to become modern classics? You know, let me know if you've got any ideas. Wouldn't mind doing an Alfa Romeo of some description. So let me know. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye.